Hey, what's going on, guys? Richie Figs here, back with another video. Man, it's been a while since we've covered Jada, so I'm excited to get back into it. A lot of things that we have to go over today. Juhn speaks as he has an interview with All About Collecting. We'll go over some of the key points from that interview. Sounds like a lot of good stuff coming up for 2025. We get some in-package shots. That's right, folks. Some in-package shots of Wave 4 that include Blanka and Sagat. Could they be coming sooner than expected? And then also some unexpected hate coming towards Wave 3? I got a lot to talk about. Let's go. Alright, guys, coming in post-edit here real quick. I apologize. I got the YouTube name so wrong. Like, not even close. Not even the same ballpark. So, should anybody from that YouTube channel see this video, just know I am tremendously sorry. It was from the Boog Articulated Comic Book Art podcast. So, again, shout out to Boog Articulated Comic Book Art. That's the name. That's the channel. Link to their channels in the description below. So sorry for the name mix-up.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
First thing we're going to cover is going to be the interview with Juhn. It's been a while since we've heard from Juhn, at least that I have found. The last time we heard from him was around the New York Comic Con time. He was able to sit down and talk with the All About Collecting crew. Shout out to them. Link to their channels in the description below. If you guys want to go check out that interview, I'd highly advise it. They do cover other things in the Jada line, such as the Mega Man and the Cyberpunk, and I think they cover a little bit of the mascots. I'm not sure, but it was a good interview, and they talked a lot about Street Fighter, so we're going to go over those topics right now. One of the main questions that was asked are we going to get the game over faces for these figures eventually? And Juhn always answers the question without answering the question. That's just kind of the way he rolls. And he said, anything that you guys have thought of, we have thought of. So, as far as like the smashing car, game over faces, things like that, they definitely have already put that kind of on the whiteboard in thinking if that's going to be a possibility or not. My question really comes down to, how well are those going to sell? And where do you place them? Do you put them in all in their own, accessory pack so you can just get everybody caught up as once? Do you start releasing player 2s and start including game over faces? My question is there a big enough market for those? Because they are included with every Street Fighter Storm collectible figure, and I don't know that they're appreciated the way they probably should be. I feel like a lot of people kind of just count them as a nice to have, but are you actually going to use the game over faces? I feel like they only really be of use to maybe like a toy photographer, or if you had kind of like a nice diorama scene that you set up. For the standard collector that's just casually collecting this line, I don't know that they would actually appeal to that market at all. So how much of a niche, is there enough of that niche market to really purchase this accessory pack? I don't know. And that was another thing they also talked about, were just accessory packs in general to kind of catch people up on like Dhalsim and his Yoga Flame, maybe get a different flame effect for Ryu, and just some of the other characters that had come out. I think it'd be kind of interesting if they just did an accessory pack that kind of had an array of different accessories, if you will. Some effect pieces, some additional heads, things that maybe some accessories like scene accessories, things like that. I think that would be a pretty cool idea, and I think there could definitely be enough meat on the bone to make that an accessory pack. Also, another thing I would like to see is maybe some 2-packs. Like, if we got a deluxe 2-pack of Ken and Ryu, and we got some update, I'm trying to think of a way that we could get another traditional Ryu out, but where we got the skin updated, and the gloves painted brown, and his hair painted brown, because right now, he's got the red gloves, which is not true to the source material of the Street Fighter game. He's got the black hair, where on the cover of the box, he's got the brown hair, and then he's got, and then maybe you can throw some soft goods on him. I don't know. That was another thing that they talked about, as one of the, All About Collecting crew had asked them about integrating some of the soft goods from Cyberpunk just because that coat and a lot of the stuff on the Cyberpunk figures are soft goods. If they'd ever considered bringing that over to Street Fighter, maybe we get a soft goods Ryu, soft goods Ken. I'm trying to think who else would be. I think Fei Long would have like some. It'd be cool if he got like some soft goods like swishy pants or like those karate pants. I think that'd be kind of interesting. So they definitely said that's going to be more of a possibility moving forward. I know that they talked about soft goods with E Honda and deciding whether they were going to make that towel a soft goods or not. Me personally, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with his towel potentially falling off and having to deal with that. I'd rather just have it be a soft plastic. And I think that's the route they'll probably go. But I do know that Vega has that little sash around his midsection that is of soft goods. So that's something that you can look forward to. But to me, I don't want to go too soft goods crazy with this line because I feel like the durability and kind of like the way I want to pose them, soft goods could kind of get annoying, I guess you could say. So I'm okay if they don't really make a full transition into soft goods. But soft goods like here and there, like the sash on Vega and things like that, I'm totally okay with. And then they did kind of talk about the scheduling and what's going on for, Wave 3. He talked about how that had already been hitting and shipping out. And then Wave 4, interesting development here. Wave 4, he had scheduled to hit targets and everything in April. But as of right now, there are some in-package shots, and that's actually going to be our next topic, some in-package shots of Blanka and Sagat in their full final production packaging. So very interesting there. We're going to take some deep looks into those and kind of see what that's all about, see how Blanka turned out, see how Sagat turned out. So were those specifically made just to bring, I think it was Tokyo Comic-Con? And that was another thing discussed in the interview, is that they said they were done with the con circuit for the year, but there was a Jada booth at Tokyo Comic-Con. So I don't know if that was just a small little representation. Maybe he meant as far as like new products at the cons. Maybe this is just like a one-off thing. But they did have in-package shots of Blanka, Sagat, and then there was some additional figures of like the Cyberpunk. Not like new characters or anything, but just them being there. The Cyberpunks were there. But yeah, so very interesting. If to me they already have in-package shots of Blanka and Sagat, I wouldn't be shocked if this thing started shipping out and maybe started hitting Target. Because I'm going to start keeping an eye on that AliExpress, because China definitely gets these figures the fastest. Like, Asia definitely sees these figures the fastest, then it's Target, and then it's your traditional online retailer. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out there because seeing them in package leads to believe we could see them very much sooner than April. I'm thinking like January, even early February, that you could maybe start seeing these come in stock for AliExpress. But the only thing with AliExpress is that you do have to pay a little bit more. But to me, 2025 for Jada is just going to be absolutely epic. Absolutely epic, because now we're starting to get all the big figures, the big boys. And I think this will really kind of, really put things into perspective as far as the actual Street Fighter line. I want to see what can be done with these big figures. Blanka, Sagat, E Honda, T-Hawk. Then we got, what's this guy on the, why can't I remember that guy's, I can't remember the big wrestler's name off the top of my head. Zangief. God, I don't know why that, Balrog, and then obviously this guy right here, AKUMA. Do we see multiple versions of M? I am very interested to see what happens with the Jada line and how they execute with these big figures. I think they're going to be phenomenal. Sagat looks great. I think Blanka's the one I have the most interest in right now. And then obviously this big guy right here, T-Hawk. But T-Hawk, Balrog, Zangief, and E Honda are not scheduled until late of next year. So we kind of have to hold our anxiousness, our anticipation for that for late next year. But as far as Blanka, Sagat, and Vega, that is scheduled for early next year. But Vega, no one knows what's going on with Vega. Vega, he said, was shortly supposed to come after Sagat and Blanka, and we have not seen a masthead of Vega yet. So I don't know what's going on with Vega, but as of right now, he's scheduled for a later release than the Sagat and Blanka. So I don't know what's going on there, but we still have not seen a mass photo of that. And then the last thing, was there anything else that we need to cover from that interview? It wasn't really in depth on anything, but yeah, why don't we move on to the in-shop productions from Tokyo Comic-Con, because these are actually really cool. Here we are with Blanka from in-package shot. As you can see, he's got the full box around him. He's in the plastic, and I wanted to get kind of like this full screen image because I wanted to really take a look at the head sculpts and everything like that. As you can see, it does say in the top right hand corner, not for sale, so it's not like they're selling these at the con or anything like that. But look at Blanka and his screaming head sculpt. Right away, I'm going to say it looks a lot better. They definitely worked on like the jaw. I always thought like his underbite was like a little too pronounced. But this is looking really good. The only thing I'm curious about is this head sculpt, like the gritting head sculpt. As you can see on the right hand side there, he has more gum showing than on the left side, which is kind of true to package. On this side, as you can see, he's kind of got like that gum showing, and it kind of moves into like a smaller smirk on the right side of his face. But I don't know if you guys like that or if that bugs you a little bit. It's more like a snarl face, I guess you could say, where he's like snarling. But immediately, I love the pants. They definitely went away from that shiny plasticky look. So we've got like more like a matte finish. I'm very impressed with that. I think the green turned out really nice. I see the additional hands, so we kind of have like these claw, kind of like Venom hands, where they get kind of like a graspy claw hand. Very cool there. The hair turned out great. Do I wish maybe it was a little bit of a brighter orange? Sure, but then does that steer away too far from the source material? I don't know. But it at least looks better than what it did, where it was just coming too close to the color of the shorts, where it was kind of like blending in. And then also these are in-package shots. I don't know how much more vibrant it will be in hand. So we'll take a look at that. And then you do get his lightning effects that surround him. And then this is the deluxe packaging as well. So I can definitely zoom this down because it is fully zoomed in, because I wanted you guys to really be able to take a look at those head sculpts and everything like that. So we'll bring this down. But as you can see, the package is a lot bigger. So don't forget also that these figures here are deluxe edition figures because they are bigger boys, and that they are going to include a higher price tag. So instead of the $25 price tag, I think these are $30 to $35. I want to say $30, but I would expect as high as $35. So don't think that Jada, I have a strong suspicion that people are going to forget that these are deluxe editions, and then people are going to come out and start saying, "Oh, Jada raised their prices. I knew it would happen." Things like that. Like, this is just, we knew that this was going to happen. So don't be shocked that the prices are going up for Sagat, Blanka. I don't know if Vega counts as a deluxe figure. I don't think he does. But Sagat and Blanka for sure are going to have that higher price tag of $30 to $35. So with shipping, if you were to order from Big Bad Toy Store, it'd be somewhere in the 40s for you. So just keep that in mind. I feel like a lot of people will forget about that. But that is Blanka. We have now Sagat to take a look at. Taking a look at Sagat, here he is in his in-package shot. Again, it's not like Tokyo Comic-Con is getting these early or anything. As you can see, it says not for sale in the top right-hand corner. The only thing that's annoying is that there is a box on the left-hand corner here covering his additional head sculpt. So we do not get to see his additional head sculpt. Unfortunately, these were the only photos that I could find from Tokyo Comic-Con, and it looks like it was going to be covered no matter what shot you got. I think Blanka's is actually covering his additional head sculpt, so that's kind of annoying, but I can throw up real quick an additional headshot of that. And then I did just throw on that additional head sculpt picture. You guys know what it looks like, but that's what it looks like in plastic form. A lot of them that you'll see online are just going to be picture, as far as like production comic, like cartoon images of what it's going to look like. But that's the actual sample that we saw at New York Comic-Con, I believe is where they showed that off. Too bad you can't see it here in this photo, but taking a look at it, he's coming with his effect piece. As you can see, they did add that silver sheen to the shorts, so it doesn't look so plasticky. That looks a lot better. They added like that sparkle sheen to the shorts, so I'm glad they were able to do that. I like the shading on the figure immediately. The scar looks really good. I like that the gloves kind of have their own pronounced sculpt and everything. He kind of gets those grasping hands as well, effect piece, and then there's also that stand on the left. But great news that we are already seeing this stuff in package. And again, he is going to be considered a deluxe figure due to his size. So expect a bigger price tag with these guys. So I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller so you guys can kind of get a big, an idea of what it looks like. But that's the image from Tokyo Comic-Con, and these figures are going to be epic. I just have a feeling. Guys, last little side topic here that we have to go over is Wave 3. As it starts to ship out from retailers and people are starting to get their figures, you're starting to see more and more reviews on YouTube regarding Wave 3 and people's reactions. And I would say, for the most part, people are really enjoying this wave. I even put it above Wave 1, which in my last video, I think I said it was Fei Long, Ryu, and Ken. No, that wasn't. It was Chun-Li. Somehow, Ken came out the same year, like right at the end, so I sometimes forget he was part of Wave 2, but Ken was part of Wave 2. So Wave 1 being Chun-Li, Fei Long, and Ryu. I actually put this wave above them as far as quality and everything, but there was one of the big names that notably reviews action figures, Anthony's Customs, that did not have a great experience with his Wave 3. DJ has a little bit of a miscoloring in his chest plate, which on my shelf, I'm looking at it right now, it looks no different. It looks to match the skin tone of the arms. But in pictures is where it does come a little bit more pronounced. And he's obviously filming on a camera. A lot of settings are going to deal with that. But it does seem like he almost got like a bad copy, because his definitely seems a little bit more yellow and pronounced than the one I have. The one I have, looking at it, looks fine. In pictures, you start to notice it a little bit more, but nothing where it looked like his did look jaundicey. But ever since he's put out that review, he did have some issues with Cammy. I can't remember what they were off the top of my head. But ever since his review, he hasn't done a Guile video yet, so I don't know if he likes Guile or not. But he ultimately loves these figures. But because Jada's done so well with their prior figures, he has a new standard of Jada. So he definitely goes a little bit harsh when he starts to notice some fall off or some imperfections with the figures, because he's not comparing them with other figures. He's comparing Jada against Jada. Because the wave is so strong and they are so good and he likes them so much, he has definitely a high standard for these. But he definitely ripped into DJ. Cammy not so much. He actually liked Cammy quite a bit, but he definitely thought Chun-Li was the better figure of the two, where I actually thought Cammy was the better figure of the two. But to each their own. There are no wrong answers here. Everybody's got their different preferences and likings and things like that, and everybody also gets different quality. But I just wanted to let you guys know, if you ever have any quality issues where it absolutely bugs you and you're not getting any help from like the retailer, or if you find them at Target and you can't return it in exchange, because obviously those figures are never on the shelves, Jada has a great customer service line. Their phone number is actually on all their packaging along with their email. I had some issues with my M. Bison shoulder pads. They actually sent me out an entire new M. Bison figure. So they are more than willing to accommodate and stand by their product, which a lot of companies are not able to. But if you ever have any crazy issues, reach out to them. I guarantee they'll do something to make sure you're satisfied with the figure. But ever since that video came out, I've gotten a lot of later comments on my Cammy and my DJ video, basically reiterating and verbatim saying exactly what Anthony Custom says he didn't like in his video, what you guys are now saying you don't like about the DJ and Cammy. I would say, try them out for yourselves. They are actually really great figures. I love the DJ figure. And his chest plate, even though slightly miscolored, and like I said, I can really only see it in pictures. Right now, looking at it, it looks flesh to flesh, same color to me. Like, I think it's an awesome figure along with Cammy. But again, at the end of the day, also, these are $25 figures. Like, I mean, there are going to be imperfections in any line. McFarlane has weak joints where their joints are always snapping, legs are snapping off, arms are snapping off. Mattel has paint issues with their wrestling figures. Marvel Legends is known for having QC issues of their own. Like, it's going to happen. There are no perfect figures out there. But just if it ever has bugged you enough, just reach out to Jada. But I just was like, where's all this hate now just coming for Wave 3 after one review? But granted, he's a great reviewer. I'm a big fan of Anthony's Customs myself, and he's a nice guy outside of YouTube too. He's just got a high standard for figures, so, and he definitely will let the community hear about him. But just wanted to note that on the side. I thought it was interesting that now all of a sudden it seems like there's a lot of later hate coming towards this wave, which I think the main message I want to get across here is give it a try for yourself. If you don't like it, return it or reach out to Jada, but it's definitely a strong wave in my opinion. You just got to get it in your hands and see for yourself. Other than that, guys, just a little Jada video, little news video. Sorry if this one went a little long at the end. It's been a while since we talked Jada, so we definitely want to give you all the news and bits and everything like that. And then my last video, probably for Jada, unless something else comes out. They did mention, that was one other thing from the Juhn interview that they did mention, is that Paul Mart will have another exclusive coming out sometime in the near future. So we'll keep an eye out on that. They put out the gray suit Ryu, the gray gi Ryu. So a lot of people like that figure. It sounds like they're getting another exclusive sometime in the future. So other than that, I have a 2024 wrap-up, me ranking all of the figures that came out for Jada in the Street Fighter line. And which ones were my favorite and which ones made the bottom of the list. I loved all the figures, but obviously I like some more than the others. And then we will patiently wait and see what happens with Blanka and Sagat and what's going on and if we get those sooner than later. But other than that, guys, that's going to be the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like the video. If you're new, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Richie Figs. Later.